Hello travelers from around the world, how are you doing? Today's video, we'll show you another national park. We're on the banks of the Rio Grande, and north of here stretches one of the least known yet largest national parks in the United States, which we're going to show you today. Its location in harsh climates makes it one of the most remote regions in Texas, yet every year, in addition to its hikers, hundreds of immigrants from Mexico also venture across its canyons and deserts. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the vast expanse of the Old West. Welcome to Big Bend. Big Bend National Park is an hour or two drive south from the town of Alpine. It goes by quickly as you admire the scenery through the car window. First, you take the US 90, leaving the Davis Mountains behind and heading deeper into the desert. Then, the terrain becomes increasingly mountainous and even a little surreal with the backdrop of the Chisos Mountains. Big Bend National Park is often considered to be three parks in one because it has the mountains part, the desert part, and the Rio Grande part. Here you can find trails to suit all tastes, from short walks to super long trails where you can get lost for days. The park covers an area of 300 hectares. That's about 2 or 3 times the size of Andorra, so just imagine the scale. Big Bend refers precisely to the bend of the Rio Grande River in the region. This is the name by which the national park is known, as well as much of southern Texas. The Rio Grande River is the natural border between the United States and Mexico and is one of the park's main attractions. Before we get to the canyons, I want to show you the picturesque valley. The views here are breathtaking, and I think you could fit an entire country in each of these valleys. Many people assume that the hottest months here are July and August, but in fact, the thermometer reaches maximum temperatures here from April to June. In any case, at any time of year, you should be prepared for a drastic change in temperature. On the same day, the difference between the temperatures in the mountains and on the riverbank can be 20 to 22 degrees. It's almost like a small country with different climate zones. And this is probably the most rustic information center we've seen in the entire United States. It features some old farm equipment, some old houses, and we plan to start our route from here. We're in Castolón, and to get here, we've crossed the entire park by car, which took us about an hour and 20 minutes until we hit the border that is Rio Grande. Somewhere around here that one of the most beautiful routes, Santa Elena, begins, and we're off in search of it. But first, let's take a look at the information center. We're not exactly sure which building it's in. It looks like they're all closed. Well, we found it. It's this little house right here. I read that it was built in the 1920s. Look at the view from here.
You can actually go across Terlingua Creek, and then you can start up. You kind of got to do a little mountain goating where you're kind of scrambling over some rocks. But once you get past that area, there's actually like a path, and then it's got concrete steps, and you can go up the steps and you can get some really gorgeous pictures of the canyon. It's breathtaking, and I highly recommend everybody go down there.
Just look at these views. We are in Santa Elena Canyon, and here we're gonna start the route which is considered the most beautiful in the whole area. We're gonna go past the Rio Grande, or Rio Bravo as they call it in Mexico. It's a 2-mile walk, and we were told it would be a little difficult at the beginning, but for us, it's a must-do because they say the views from there are well worth it. Wow, what a place! The nature of this area is protected by both the United States and Mexico because in addition to this nature park, there are several others in Big Bend. And on the Mexican side, there is the Rio Bravo National Park. However, this area is quite conflicted, and at one time there was a lot going on. After all, this area was once a part of Mexico. Later, after the war with Texas and then the US intervention, the river became the new border. Conflicts over water and water allocation are still going on here. And of course, illegal immigration from Mexico is still an issue here, so you can see quite a few checkpoints in the area on the main roads leading to Marathon and Alpine. Indeed, this little climb is not the easiest. There is supposed to be another trail along the river, but the water must be high right now, so they warned me right away that I would have to climb the first 100 meters literally like a goat. Look at how beautiful it is. Well, we have to go down this way. I don't even know how to. Okay, alright. When I was checking the routes and reading various blogs about them, I saw that many people complain that the route is classified as easy, but in fact, it's not that easy. It's not signposted, and you can get lost here, and you certainly don't want to fall from here. Santa Elena Canyon departs from the Rio Bravo in a northerly direction. Once you're in it, it's like time stands still. It's an impressive gorge of limestone and basalt rocks with walls reaching 450 meters high. The natural beauty of this place captivates you instantly, and you won't forget it for a long time to come. The canyon is about 24 kilometers long, which makes it one of the longest in the United States. This park is definitely worth a visit, if only just to admire how beautifully the light reflects off its different layers of rocks and contrasts with the desert scenery that you can enjoy from its observation decks. Our next stop is the Chisos Mountains. They are also in the national park, but the scenery here is very different from the previous one. These mountains are in the heart of the national park and are accessed by the incredibly scenic road, the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive. This mountain range stretches for about 34 kilometers and is surrounded by valleys, canyons, streams, and dense vegetation. The highest point of its range is Amory Peak, 2,385 meters above sea level. The Chisos Mountains are an oasis of this park. Here, you can find hummingbirds, eagles, and owls, as well as mammals such as black bears, bobcats, and deer. There are many interesting trails that start from the Chisos Basin Information Center, such as the Window Trail. This trail leads through spectacular Oak Creek Canyon to a window-like opening in the mountains. If you want an easier route, the Window View Trail is the way to go, as it's a short climb that ends with a great view of the mountain, the riverbank, and the desert. This viewpoint offers a good summary of everything that the Big Bend has to offer, and on clear days, you can see Mexico from its viewpoints. We hope that Sunday we'll get to visit the other side of the border too. In the meantime, we continue our journey across the United States. Next week, we're following Al Capone's footsteps to a resort town full of underground casinos. You can't miss it. Your likes and comments really help us move forward, so thank you so much for them. By the way, don't forget to click on the bell to keep in touch. All the best, and see you soon, world travelers!